You're listening to Arirang Radio's Wonders of Jeju. This is a segment where we tell you about the lives of people living right here on the island. I'm your host, DJ Jamie. This is Humans of Jeju. Welcome into the studio, Jay.
Hi, Jamie.
Woo-hoo! How are you feeling with the
changes.
new setting? I know. In such a short time. Yeah.
Everything feels so different right now.
You can move your head. It's okay.
I can see myself better.
It was really funny how you were doing ASMR. ASMR.
Yeah, I saw that at the one of the comedy programs. They're like talking really close. Can you hear me? And,
I can hear you
awesome.
very well. All right. Awesome.
But I gotta admit, this looks like a ice cream right now.
It looks
we were
like.
talking about that.
Are you
I was
craving
like
ice?
grave on it. I was gonna start like eating it.
Okay. This means that we can focus a little bit more on who we're introducing a little bit more because, we don't have anything like covering us anymore and people can see you a little bit better, hopefully.
I hope they enjoy.
We've got a lot of Camellia saying hello for you.
Hello, everybody.
I think Jay is a little not nervous.
Getting
but
embarrassed a little bit?
Yeah. No need to be embarrassed. Okay, so who will you be introducing for us today?
So let's dive right in and then listen to today's Human of Jeju.
All right.
네, 안녕하세요. 저는 김지환이라고 하고요. 2013년 8월에 제주에 이주해서 지금은 제주 이주 9년차 된 이주민입니다. 단란한 가족과 와이프, 아이들 둘과 함께 제주를 처음 방문해서 지금은 아이가 셋이 됐습니다. 네, 최근에 늦둥이를 봤거든요. 저는 대학에서 미술교육과 서양화를 전공했고 미술에 대한 화가에 대한 꿈을 키우긴 했지만 사실 졸업 이후에는 신문기자 생활로 사회생활을 처음 시작했고요. 8년 정도 신문기자 생활을 하다가 취미로 하던 일이 이제 직업이 된 경우인데요. 취미로 하던 거라면은 제주도 바닷가에 떠밀려온 이런 바다 쓰레기를 이용해서 작은 소품이나 작품들을 만드는 작업들을 했었습니다. 처음에는 프리마켓 등에 가져나가서 이제 사람들한테 선보이기 시작했다가 그게 조금씩 관심을 받고 판매가 되기 시작하면서 전시로 이어졌고 그 전시를 보고 방송국에서 촬영 요청이 왔고 그 방송을 보고 어린이집 원장님한테 전화가 와서 처음 이제 업사이클링 교육이라는 게 시작이 됐고요. 그게 횟수를 벌써 8년이 됐고 지금까지 누적 그 업사이클링 체험자 수는 3만 명이 좀 넘습니다. 예, 그래서 저는 사람들이 저의 직업에 대해서는 업사이클러라는 직업명을 붙여주셨고요. 또 이런 환경 교육뿐만 아니라 환경 예술 활동도 같이 병행을 하고 있습니다. 과거 그 작가에 대한 그런 꿈을 지금 제주 바다 쓰레기 통해서 실현시키고 있고요.
Okay, so tell us what he says.
So a lot of things, right?
Yeah.
Today we introduce environmental and educator plus artist Kim Jihwan, who moved to Jeju in August of 2013 with his happy family that includes his wife and two sons. And that was the family when they first came. And after living here for 9 years now, they have a new member as well.
Oh.
And that's their youngest child, born right here on Jeju Island. So in university, Kim Jihwan majored in art education and Western painting.
Okay.
And he had a dream of becoming a painter.
Okay.
But actually after graduation, he mentioned that he began his career as a newspaper reporter.
Oh, that's different.
Yes. So he worked as a reporter for about 8 years. And he even did the job here on Jeju Island for a short period of time. As an artist was a hobby for him. And that became his career later on here on Jeju.
Oh.
So his hobby was making small props or artworks using trash that flowed onto the shore from the sea. At first, he took his work to the flea market. And he kind of showed off to the people visiting the markets. Then his work began to gain more interest and began to be sold more often. And he got a chance to hold an exhibition with his works. And then after that, he got a call from a broadcasting station wanting to film him and his work.
Oh, that's cool.
And then after that, he got a call from a director of a daycare center asking to do an educational program on upcycling.
All right.
And that was how his whole career started to begin, like this new career.
That is awesome.
So it's been 8 years already in his new career. And the number of people who have actually experienced his program in upcycling, he mentioned is a little more than 30,000 participants up to now.
Wow.
So that's a lot of people that he's met.
That is a lot of people.
Yes. And that's why there are people who call him an upcycler.
Uh-huh.
And he combines that work with education about environment as well as environmental artwork. So his dream of becoming an artist in the past was fulfilled by the waste of Jeju Sea. Washed up onto the Jeju shore.
Wow, because that is a big issue, and it's something that everybody needs to pitch in to find ways to help it. So he's an environmental artist who does upcycling with waste from the sea. I wonder what kind of work he has done so far.
So he has participated in a landscaping program before. He has also been invited as an ecological art artist at Kidang Art Museum in Seogwipo. And along with all that, he has held more than 20 solo exhibitions as well.
I see.
So that's a lot of exhibitions that he's held. Also, if before he used waste from sea to make like small, cute artworks, he can now say that his work from recent exhibitions have become more focused on environmental issues.
All right. That's awesome.
So he mentioned that there are many who are currently concerned about global warming issues.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And one of the major problems in that is the trash.
Yes.
And especially plastic.
Especially.
And even within plastic, he has been focusing on plastic waste washed onto the shore. And that probably has to do with him living on Jeju Island and being closely in touch with the sea.
Right, because he'll have more opportunity to see plastic floating around.
Right. So at the beginning, he was focused on trash such as like small plastic pieces, driftwoods, or sea glasses. But after 4 years of this career, he's become more interested in a new type of plastic waste called pyroplastic.
Oh, pyroplastic. So is he currently holding an exhibition right now on Jeju Island?
So he's currently holding an exhibition at Cafe 물결, Café Wave at the Sanji Dungdae, the Sanji Lighthouse. The exhibition started on the 19th and is going to be held until November 6th.
Oh, we still have some time.
So the title of the exhibition is 인류세, Anthropocene,
yes,
and 제주의 흔적, which is trace of Jeju Island.
Oh, that's such an important issue that we need to talk more about. But what kind of exhibition is this? Can you explain a little bit more?
So he said it was the first exhibition in the nation related to pyroplastic. So you may be wondering what pyroplastic is.
Yeah.
So let's listen first.
Okay.
파이로플라스틱이라 하면 플라스틱을 바닷가에서 불법으로 소각하는 과정에서 태어난 새로운 변종이라고 이해하시면 되겠고요. 크기는 천차만별인데 이런 플라스틱들이 바위에 붙어 있다가 떨어지는 과정에서 자연스럽게 이 바위의 모습을 찍어내기 때문에 색깔도 검은색 그리고 모양도 돌과 같아서 가짜 돌, 페이크 돌 정도로 이제 이해하시면 좋을 것 같습니다. 사람들은 전혀 눈치채지 못할 정도로 너무 흡사합니다. 저 역시도 마찬가지였고요. 그러다가 우연히 이 돌들이 밧줄이나 아니면 그물과 엉켜 있는 모습을 처음 발견하면서 어떻게 이 돌이 같이 있을까 하고 들어보는 순간 너무 가벼워서 깜짝 놀랐었고요. 이게 돌이 아니라 플라스틱이라는 걸 처음 알게 됐습니다. 그래서 이제 인터넷을 통해서 찾아보기 시작했고 이 문제가 대한민국만의 문제가 아니라 제주도만의 문제가 아니라 전 세계적인 문제라는 걸 새롭게 알게 됐고요. 해외에서도 이 문제에 대해서 관심을 갖기 시작한 게 불과 2, 3년밖에 안 되고요. 우리나라에서는 불과 1, 2년 정도밖에 안 됐습니다. 이제 막 시작한 단계이죠. 그래서 환경에 대한 다양한 이제 접근 방식이 있긴 한데 파이로플라스틱은 플라스틱 문제를 이해하는 새로운 이슈, 새로운 주제가 되지 않을까라는 예상을 하고 있습니다.
Please explain.
So pyroplastic is a variant plastic that is newly created from the process of burning plastic illegally into the sea. So its size comes in various sizes. This plastic stays stuck onto a rock, and when it falls off, it naturally becomes just like a rock.
Oh.
So the colors, such as the dark colors and the shapes, are similar to a real rock. So it's easy to think of it as a fake rock.
Okay.
And it's actually hard to distinguish the two he mentioned.
Plastic rock.
So Kim Jihwan mentioned that was the case for him. And when he first got to know about the pyroplastic, he started to search about it on the web and found out that pyroplastic was not only a problem here in Korea, but also a problem being faced around the world.
I see.
So even in abroad, the problem of pyroplastic has become recognized recently, about 2 to 3 years now. And it's been brought up in Korea for 1 to 2 years now.
Okay.
So this is something that is new and at an early stage where Kim Jihwan believes that pyroplastic will become a new issue and a new topic in understanding the problems of plastic that we are facing.
Very interesting.
If you are in Jeju,
88.7 in Jeju City,
88.1 in Seogwipo City,
101.9 in the Daejeong area.
Arirang Radio.
Today we're introducing an artist named Kim Jihwan who creates art through waste that he collects on the shores and at the same time educating people, which is awesome. And you mentioned that the title of this exhibition was 인류의 Anthropocene, 제주의 흔적, Trace of Jeju. You know about this. Can you tell us what this means, this title? What does it mean?
Yeah, so Kim Jihwan mentioned that in the history of our planet's environment, there has been a number of major collapse and that we faced. And we faced 5 major collapse, and we're heading towards the sixth collapse. And geologically, within the layers of the Earth, those traces are discovered.
I see.
And in the 6th collapse, scientists say we're leading to. It is said that the trace left by human will probably be very clearly noticeable, and that's because of the environmental problems and destructions that we have been causing. And the 2 major substances that will be marked on the layer of our planet. First is from the 65 billion chickens that we butcher in 1 year.
Chickens?
Yes, and the bones of the chickens.
Really?
So they're left on the layers of our earth, ground.
I see.
Another is 6.3 billion tons of plastic that's been accumulated up to only 2015. And these 2 is predicted to leave its trails geologically.
Wow, that's scary.
Yes, and actually if we dig deep down into the Earth's surface, we discovered that on the layer of our surface, plastic was discovered since its production, especially since the 70s when the usage of plastic has dramatically increased. So understanding the serious problem that we're facing with plastic, artist recognizes plastic as one of the traces leading to major collapse.
I see. So recognizing plastic being one of the matters leading to these collapses that you're saying, collisions of humanity, he has paid close attention to it. Then can you tell us what kinds of work have he displayed for his exhibition?
So first he mentioned the fake rocks he talked about that are actually pyroplastic. He said he collected them and displayed them for the exhibition. And people will look at them and they say it looks just like a basalt rock. And they confuse it with real rock.
Really?
And they're really shocked when they hear that it's plastic.
I see.
Also, he has displayed the work that he has created up to now using the driftwoods and various sea waste that he collected. Then there is also a space where audience can experience making something using the sea glasses that he collected.
I see.
And also in order for the audience to consider about the items they buy to decorate their houses and result becoming trash and being broken down into pieces, by restructuring the items using such pieces, the artist recreated a work that audience can see and think about the item they buy, wanting to possess, maybe just being another waste or something that will be thrown away. So having people rethink about the items before they buy it.
To rethink before you buy. That's very important. I'm wondering, though, is there a certain message that the artist would like to send out to the world through this exhibiting work that he does from waste?
Right. So because he used to be a newspaper reporter, he mentioned he has this natural instinct of constantly considering about the problems in our society.
Okay.
If at the time he tried to solve the problems through writing, now as an artist, he's thinking about ways he can look into such issues through creating an artwork.
I see.
So instead of creating art that is fancy and something beautiful to hang up on the walls of your houses, artist Kim Jihwan is more into social art or community art, where through art he's able to communicate with the people and bring out the social issue that we face.
That makes a lot of sense. And you mentioned he's involved with educating people about environment as well.
Yes. When creating something, naturally you come to use chemically made substances and anti-environmental substances as well. But considering about how you can still be concerned about the environmental issues, such as within such process, he came to think that it's more meaningful to change such awareness through education than just designing and creating a work.
That does make sense.
So when creating the company, he created a company called 받아쓰기. Before starting the work of designing, they first started with the work of educating people about environment.
Oh, okay. Then what can we do about such environmental issues? I wonder if he has any ideas.
Let's listen to what he had to say.
당연히 많이 듣는 질문이고요. 저 역시도 지금도 계속 고민하는 질문이긴 한데 첫 번째, 그러니까 가장 이상적인 거는 아무것도 하지 않는 거겠죠. 아무것도 사지 않고 아무것도 입지 않는 것. 그거는 이제 정말로 이상적인 이야기인 거고, 좀 더 현실적인 고민에서 풀어내면은 저는 일단은 스스로 뭔가를 만들어낼 수 있는 거라면 만드는 노력을 했으면 좋겠다. 그러니까 굳이 소비하지 않아도 스스로 만들면서 느끼는 또 쾌감도 있고 즐거움도 있거든요. 저는 그걸 제가 스스로 만든 캠페인이 있어요. DIY가 Do It Yourself, 너 스스로 뭔가를 만드는 그런 작업들이 유행으로 한때 가구나 아니면 의류에서도 있었는데, 저는 DI업이라고 해서 너 스스로 뭔가 업사이클 하자. 소비하지 않고 직접 뭔가를 뚝딱뚝딱 만들면서 느끼는 쾌감과 환경적인 그런 경험들을 쌓으면 좋지 않을까. 그게 또 자연스럽게 일상이 되면 좋지 않을까라는 생각을 해보는 거죠. 그런 제안을 수년째 혼자 열심히 하고 있는 거죠.
Very interesting. Not instead of DIY, he said he talks about something different. What does he say?
So he mentioned this is a question that he gets a lot, and this is something even he continuously questions to himself to think about. But the first and most ideal way he mentioned is maybe doing what he meant by doing nothing.
What does he mean by that?
And what he meant by this is the ideal way would be buying nothing and having nothing to own. But realistically, that's not possible. And to approach it in such way, he thinks if it is something that you can make, try to make it on your own is the solution.
Instead of DIY, he says like DIU maybe.
Right.
Upcycling
so
instead,
there's
right?
Campaign that he made on his own, and that is DI up. So DIY is, as everybody knows, is like do it yourself, right? Making it. DI up is making it by upcycling.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Instead of consuming something, it's about making something yourself, helping the environment, and feeling the enjoyment as you do it as well.
That is awesome.
Now,
All about Korea.
Arirang Radio.
I'm thinking, at times when we're trying to solve like environmental issues, things can get very tiring and difficult
That's
because
true.
it's not a lot of people are thinking about the environment.
Right.
So what does artist Kim Jihwan do in such a case?
Yeah, so let's listen first to how the artist handles with such difficulties.
Okay.
저는 제가 하는 일에 대해서 아주 거대한 포부를 갖고 있기보다는 하루하루 그냥 즐겁게 하는데 더 의미를 둬요. 그러니까 수업을 할 때도 아이들과 더 웃고 떠들고 즐겁게, 난 이걸 통해서 기후변화 문제를 해결해야지라는 사명감까지 갖는 거는 저한테는 너무 큰 부담인 거죠. 그렇기 때문에 제가 뭔가를 창작하는 이 행위는 저한테는 치유의 과정이기도 해요. 힐링의 과정이고, 남들이 봤을 때는 쓰레기를 갖고 뭔가 환경 문제를 고민해서 이 어필하는 이 전시를 준비하는 이 과정들이 고통스럽지 않을까라고 우려하시는 분도 있을 수 있는데, 저한테는 굉장히 행복한 시간입니다. 예. 가정을 책임지는 그 가장으로서 이런 예술 창작을 할 수 있다는 거는 굉장히 복받은 거죠, 사실. 예.
What does he say?
So he mentions instead of having like this huge dream, like broad dream, he puts more meaning into being able to enjoy doing it day by day. So for him, when he holds classes for the children as well about environment, he puts more focus on children being able to laugh and enjoy than trying to solve the issue of climate change with them, because that would just be too big or and too big of a burden for both him and the children.
Yes, definitely. That does make sense.
So doing certain job and creating something, he mentions, is an act of healing for him as well. So he really enjoys his job. There are people who see the work that he does and the preparation that he does for like preparing an exhibition and considering about the environmental issue, and they see it as a very tough and difficult job. But for him, he said it's a joyful time, and he feels lucky to be able to do such work.
Oh, that is wonderful. And you mentioned about the space that he's kind of also operating called 받아쓰기. It's involving the work of upcycling. Can you tell us about that?
Yes. So artist Kim Jihwan actually goes to areas around the nation and give classes on upcycling. But at the same time, there are people and groups that come to him to experience such program as well. And that's the space that he is operating. So on an average, he mentioned he holds classes for hundreds of people a month.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, somewhere
That's
around the hundreds.
Yeah, very active. He is very active.
And currently, he's holding classes through a reservation system. And up to now, he has done more of a large group classes than a small group. But is trying to build a program where individuals can experience as well. And he's trying to do that by end of this year. Some of the programs he does are like making picture frames using sea glasses, using driftwoods and plastics to make mini house and candle holders.
All right.
Or
wow.
making something more useful around the house like clock or lamp. And these are all by the waste that they collected from the sea.
That is awesome. So, he's been doing this for quite a long time now, about 9 years, as you say. Then I'm curious to know, he must have gone through a lot of changes. What kind of changes has he seen?
So while doing such work, he did personally go through some difficult times as well. And we had the COVID-19 situation as well. So that put everything difficult for him.
Yeah.
And having to make a living from all this was difficult as well. But as he continued on, fun things have happened as well, where he was proposed to take part in a public art project and receiving requests from local art foundations requesting for his artwork as well.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
Also in sea waste, he mentioned about the changes in the sea waste. There's a spot that he goes to, and he's gone there for 9 years now to collect sea glasses. And within those 9 years, he mentioned that the amount of sea glasses actually have been the same, even though he collects them. They're the same or maybe
sad.
even more than before.
Oh, no. Even though he's working so hard at it.
So he mentioned he would go collect the sea glasses one day and go back the next day and actually see the same amount just lying there. So this has shown him that this is not a problem that we can solve alone.
Right.
And it's something that we all have to make efforts in.
That makes sense. Okay, but lastly, but not least, I would like to ask this one last question we always ask. What is a travel course around Jeju Island that he would like to recommend for our listeners?
So let's listen to where he recommends.
제가 협동조합 활동을 했어요. 협동조합은 해양환경문화교육 협동조합이라는 이름이고 저처럼 이런 환경에 대한 관심 있는 사람들이 뜻을 모아서 조합을 만들었고요. 그 첫 번째 프로젝트를 제주도 한림항에 있는 비양도에서 진행을 했습니다. 비양도의 이 작은 섬은 차가 들어가지 않은 섬이기 때문에 뭔가 오염되지 않은 걷기 좋은 그런 섬이고요. 제주도에 부속섬들이 많이 있지만 그 중에서도 섬다운 섬으로 제가 손꼽을 수 있을 것 같아요. 그래서 이 비양도에서 다양한 새도 보시고 비양도 해녀분들이 해주시는 보말 칼국수도 드시고 보말 드시면 제주도에서 경험하지 못했던 또 하나의 자연을 느끼실 수 있고요. 가장 좋은 시간은 마지막 배가 4시 배인데요. 이 4시 배가 떠나면은 그때부터는 비양도의 섬은 고요함만 있거든요. 한 번도 경험하지 못했던 이 고요함을 한번 경험해 보시면 좋을 것 같습니다.
Okay, what does he say?
So he mentioned that he created an association called the Marine Environment Culture Education Cooperative Association, and which is a pretty long title, right? Which is a group with people interested in the environment.
Okay.
They care about the environment. They have a lot of interest on the environment as well. And the first project, the association, was held on the island of Pyangdo that lies on the background of Halim area.
Right.
It's a famous island that we all see probably when you talk about Halim,
Yes.
and you see the pictures of Halim. So since Pyeongdo is a small island and cars are not able to go into the island, the island is not polluted. And it's a great place to go for a walk. He recommends that. There are also many islets around Jeju Island. But the artist thinks that Pyeongdo Island is one of the islets that really feels like an island, out of all the other islands.
All right, that's interesting.
So he recommends going to the island, seeing the diverse birds living on the island, trying out the 보말 칼국수,
Oh.
the top shell noodle soup cooked by the haenyos of the island. He also recommends experiencing the nature that you cannot experience on Jeju Island. It has a very different nature from Jeju as well. And especially he would like to recommend staying on the island after the last boat leaves because that's an experience of peace and quietness of the island.
Wow.
Which he mentioned is a peace and quietness that you probably have never experienced before.
Oh, awesome. Well, Jay, thank you so much for your introduction to today's Human. I'm pretty sure our Camillas are really pleased with the update. We're going to send you off, but we'll see you again next week.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that segment. If you're curious to find out more about Jeju, we encourage you to go check out our website at arirangradio.com/Wonders of Jeju. Or you can check out our Facebook page at Wonders of Jeju, as well as our Instagram page at Wonders of Jeju. We're going to take you on a journey to learn more about what's happening here on the island.